Someone asked me recently, how do I get it all done? How do I write, perform, and deliver a Darren Daily every day, 260 days a year? How do I speak all over the globe, conduct private business masterminds with CEOs, and? Just the content that I write for Darren Daily is the equivalent of a 50,000 word book every 60 days. Imagine that, publishing 6 new books every year. That's what just this alone entails. So how? Well, I have a secret. One that is not such a secret because I tell my secret often. And when I do, everybody goes, oh, wow, yeah, I'll do that. And they do for a little bit. And then they drift. They get sloppy with it or stop doing it altogether. So let me answer the how question plainly. I don't get all that I get done based on what I do all day. It is based on what I do the first 3 hours of the day. I call it my sacred 3. It is in those sacred 3 hours where all my magic lies and where my great advantage exists. I leverage my first 3 hours of the day better than 99.9% of everybody else. That's it. If you want to change your life, and I'm assuming that you do or you wouldn't be here with us, the best place to begin is in your morning routine. Again, I've talked about this extensively in the Compound Effect, inside the Insane Productivity Program, and repeatedly here on Darren Daily. Heck, Darren Daily was designed to be a centerpiece for your morning routine, to kickstart your mind and give you that daily advantage. So I know that you know this, but I also know there's a fantastic chance you are not leveraging your morning routine to its fullest. There is a fantastic chance that you've gotten sloppy with it, letting in the siren's song of distractions or letting bad habits creep into your sacred 3. Hey, it happens to all of us. I have to reevaluate and tighten up my own regimen every so often as well. It is a constant recalibration. So that is what we're going to do here. We're going to help you optimize and maximize your morning routine and supercharge your great daily advantage. First of all, let's revisit why. If you don't know why something is so important, it's unlikely that you will be compelled enough to do the hard work necessary to change some of your behaviors. Let me give you 4 significant factors that contributes to this tremendous daily advantage. First off, having an identified, predictable routine grounds you and stabilizes you for the day. This is what you see golfers or basketball players or pitchers do before they take their shot, free throw, or pitch. They walk through a series of routine steps. This resets them and recenters them. It also quiets their mind. It gets them out of fight, flight, or freeze mode. You cannot perform at your highest level if you are in fear response mode. A planned and predictable morning routine will do the same for you. It will reset, it will recenter, and calm you so that you can operate from your best self, not your reactionary self. Let's talk about getting you and your day set. As humans, we all have 3 brains: the robot brain, the monkey brain, and the sage brain. You are trying to give your sage brain this uninterrupted and designated sacred 3. What you don't want to do is to wake up and alarm the robot brain with fear, threat, and danger of morning news. Or stir the monkey brain with the novelty of email or the shiny object distraction of social media, which immediately sends it into a fit of comparison, envy, and fear of missing out. Because once the robot or the monkey brain is awake, your sage brain and your day is screwed. You have to be as careful about waking either of those brains first thing in the morning as you are about waking the baby. Because as soon as the baby is up, it's crying, whining, and demanding your full attention. Whatever else you were doing comes to a hard, full stop. This is why you can beat the competition. You can outproduce everybody else around you. If you leverage those sacred 3, then the rest of your day matters very little. Second is, the morning is when you are cognitively your best. Most organisms on this planet, including you and me, operate in cycles. The daily 24-hour period is called the circadian rhythm. It is what has given us an evolutionary advantage as a species, allowing us to better capitalize on our environmental resources. The circadian rhythm is essential in regulating and coordinating your eating, sleeping, and other internal metabolic and psychological processes. The circadian rhythm of cognitive strength and willpower, very simply, is at its highest right after we wake from sleep. Just like your phone battery is full after charging all night, so is your brain. And just like your phone battery, the more you use it throughout the day, the weaker it gets. And it is most vulnerable at night, if not even empty, which is also why all your diets, your good intentions, and your resolutions also die at night. There's no willpower left to defend yourself. Thus, the morning is the best time to start the change that requires your willpower. If you want more Benjamins in your bank, take Benjamin Franklin's advice. He said, the early morning has gold in its mouth. Third, the way you start most anything is the way it will end. Just like a golf shot, just like a free throw, just like a pitch, just like your day. Starting your day right not only gives you a huge jump on everybody else, allowing you to get more vital things accomplished in 3 hours that most won't accomplish all day, if not all week, it also puts you into momentum, one that will carry you all day. It puts the wind at your back. If you wake up and you're rushed, you'll spend all day playing catch up. You'll have the wind in your face all day. Also, if you wake up and immediately let the outside world start smacking you around through email, news, alerts, notifications, and the demands of others, it will put you into reaction, fear, flight, and freeze mode. And you will spend the rest of the day in that mental and emotional retreat. You will be reactive instead of productive all day long. And number 4, and this one is a big one, and it's one that's not mentioned enough. Too much of society has gotten too soft. All this safety, prosperity, and abundance has given us too many options. And due to the dominance of the monkey brain, we've chosen distraction, entertainment, and escapism. Instead of us grabbing the tiger by the tail, the tiger has us in its mouth. We aren't leveraging the world. The world is leveraging us. We lost our grit, our discipline. Is it easy to get up early? No. Is it easy to resist the siren songs of distractions and novelty? No. Is it easy to do the hard work first thing in the morning? No. Is it easy to stick to a morning routine? No. But if you don't do the hard work, you will continue to live a hard life, not achieving what you want, not becoming what you should. Establishing and sticking to a morning routine, if anything, retrenches your discipline. It rebuilds a foundation in your life. It gives you solid footing on top of which you can build your dream. The stronger, broader, and deeper that morning foundation, the higher and mightier your dreams can be. But it all begins with laying this foundation. And the foundation is your morning routine. Now, before we go, let me take a minute to eliminate those complaints and objections that you have rolling around in your head right now. But I'm a night owl, but I have kids, but. Hey, I get it. Modify it to fit your circumstances. Just make it happen. Fitfo, we call it on our team. You can ask them about it. Maybe wake up a few hours earlier. Oh, you can't BS. Don't excuse yourself like that. If you live on the West Coast now, but you moved to the East Coast, you'd be up 3 hours earlier, all right? If you live on the East Coast but moved to England, you'd be waking up 5 hours earlier. So you can, you just aren't. Figure it out. Even if you have lost total control of your mornings at home, at least control the first 3 hours of your time at work. 90 minutes at the very least. Shut your door, put your headphones on your head, turn off your phone and email, and do your productive morning routine. What? Your boss? Meetings? Want? Figure it out. You can figure it out if you want to. Just make it happen. To review, the 4 advantages of designing and protecting your sacred 3, the first 3 hours of your day are: 1, it grounds you. It stills the mind and puts the sage brain in control. Likely the only time it gets control all day, before the monkey and the robot brain are poked and prodded by the outside world. Lose an hour in the morning and you will be spending all day looking for it. Number 2, the sacred 3 is when you are your cognitive best. It allows you to leverage versus waste the peak period of your circadian rhythm. Number 3, the sacred 3 kicks you into and puts you into momentum. It puts the wind at your back. If you do not start right, you will have a hard time reversing negative momentum all day. And 4, it retrenches your discipline. And this rigid structure is what will liberate you and set you free for the rest of the day. Now, I promise to share with you the 2x2 formula for building your morning routine. Let me make a critical point here. It doesn't really matter what your morning routine consists of, as long as you have one. Don't get hung up on what this person does versus that person, or think that you have to fit into somebody else's complicated plan that I guarantee you they seldom follow themselves. Don't get hung up in the specifics or what a superstar does that you must now also do too. That's BS. Discover what works for you and keep it simple. Something that you can and will do every day without fail. There are only 2 objectives for your morning routine. Those 2 are kickstart and jam. And call it what you will. Fill up and go, activate and focus, ready, set, go, load, aim, fire, whatever. The outcome goal is the same: fuel and launch. Now, like most all things in life, the key to the success of any activity is in the preparation. The success of your morning routine actually starts the night before. The first 2 in the 2x2 formula happens the day before. I call it doing the sprint prep. You want to reduce all the decisions and all the distractions that you can from your morning routine. The first and most important decision to make the day before is what will be your MVPs for tomorrow, your 3 most vital priorities, particularly number 1. An advanced level to this is to open up and start that project. If it is, say, a writing project, open up the document on your computer and write the first sentence left incomplete, so that when you open it in the morning, you can complete the sentence and then you're off. You see, the hardest part about doing anything is starting. And your brain will do all sorts of sabotaging things to procrastinate, to distract, and to delay you from starting on the hard work. So what you want to do is make it as easy as possible to start. And that is a big tip there. At the very least, write down your number 1 MVP on a sticky note and attach it to wherever you will be performing it in the morning. Put it on your computer screen, put it on your journal, on your phone, on a file, whatever. If you are uncertain what qualifies for an MVP, I refer you back to Insane Productivity, where you can learn the entire Success Vital system. That's the system that will help you produce insane results, insanely fast, and most importantly, sanely. The second variable in your day before prep for a great daily routine is getting quality sleep. Quality sleep is one of the most essential components of a good morning routine. If you don't know how to prepare yourself properly for quality sleep, I encourage you to Google it. The information is out there. It's basic, it's fundamental, but for some odd reason, people still don't know how to sleep. It's odd as hell to me. If you have trouble sleeping, for crying out loud, would you please Google it and fix it? It's vital for your life. Although I will tell you, most of the advice out there neglects the most important aspect, so I will give it to you here now. The best way to sleep well is to go to bed tired. Seems simple, right? But most don't. Not mentally tired. Everybody has that one mastered. The bombardment and constant attack they allow on their brain due to their face being sucked into their screen all day long will certainly fry your brain. What I'm talking about here is getting yourself physically tired. Most people don't sleep well because their body has been sedentary most of the day, and it is not really that tired, so it's still restless. And by the way, your mind never shuts off regardless. It's on if you're awake Or if you're sleeping, your mind is not the problem here. Your body is. So the best way to get good sleep is to go to bed tired, physically tired. Take your butt and body to the gym and exhaust it. Take it for a long run. Do squats till you drop. Trust me, drain your body of all of its energy and you will drop like a rock and sleep like a baby. Okay, now the how-to of your morning routine. The first part is kickstart. After your deep and dreamy sleep, you'll need to kickstart yourself into gear, and that is emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Again, I want to repeat, the specifics of your morning routine is not important. It's only important that you have a predictable routine and then one that you can do automatically without much decision making, and that there's something to kickstart each of these areas. So let's go through them. But know that the choice of what is entirely up to you and your preferences and your beliefs. Physically, some people believe in drinking lots of water in the morning, drinking a special tea, a particular smoothie, stretching, or going for a full workout. Me, coffee. I'm not a morning workout person. The morning is when I am cognitively at my best, and I want to maximize that time. At the end of the day is when I will give my body its hammering. I will do 5 to 7 minutes of some light stretching on the way back to my favorite morning chair from getting my second cup of coffee. But that's just to kind of get the cricks out. No yogis would be impressed with that effort. Emotionally, it's Darren Daily. That's what puts me in the right frame of mind. It's an emotional reset. It gives me focus on what's right, what's possible, and what's abundant in the world. This is so essential before you let in the rest of the world. Most everything out there is filled with evil, corrupt, criminal, and alarming content. Or it's the tug and pulls of everybody else's drama and solicitations on your attention. So with my first cup of coffee in hand, that single Darren Daily message, it grounds me. In under 5 minutes, my mind and eyes are recalibrated to look for and to find the hope, the prosperity, and the possibilities. And it takes me into the next one, mentally. I keep a Darren Daily journal on the side table of my favorite morning chair, where I watch my Darren Daily. That is where I write the takeaway lessons from that day's Darren Daily and then do the introspection on how it translates to my life right then, that very day. And what 1 or 2 or 3 things can I do that day to take action on the lesson? You see, that gets the mind working on the better everyday path. I also read for 30 minutes from whatever book that I have going on at the time, which is usually related to the skill that I have selected to focus on for that quarter. And then last but not least, spirituality. This one, you got to decide for yourself. Some pray, some meditate, some write in a gratitude journal, some have their daily devotional, they read out of the Bible, they read out of the sutras, the Tipitaka, the Vedas, the Quran, the Torah, the Book of Mormon, the Sorcerer's Stone, 50 Shades of Grey, whatever works for you, whatever kickstarts your spiritual realm. And then the final component, and really everything up to this point, has been a wind up and set up for this. And that is jamming. Your number 1 MVP, most valuable priority for the day for 90 minutes, head down, deep, focused work. Hopefully, what you selected and maybe even got started the day before is what will be the most valuable and cognitively hardest thing that you will have to do all day. Everything that we've done up to this point, everything the day before and everything winding up to this, has been priming you and preparing you for crushing that MVP. And this is why you absolutely cannot be distracted or disturbed during this jam session. And it won't be the sirens on the outside that will lure you into the rocks, killing your flow state. It will be the ones on the inside, you allowing your monkey brain to compel you to check email, the news, your social channels, or to conjure up all sorts of excuses why you should get a load of laundry started. Organize your desk first, finish your expense reports, or start with something trivial first to avoid the hard but vital MVP project. If you follow this 2x2 formula, you will then put yourself into what is called beast mode so that you can focus on one undistracted, single-focused effort on one major project for 90 minutes. You will move the needle of progress and achievement outcomes more than most people will produce all day. You are always in a state of multitasking and fits and starts and constant interruption and distraction from the outside world and from inside. But for this 190 minutes, it's nothing but beast mode in flow state. Now, I have to confess that I do all that I've talked about thus far in my bathrobe, in my favorite morning chair. And you can do that if you get up at 5 a.m. or earlier. So now it's barely 7 a.m. by the time I have done all of this. And then I get up, I pet the dog, I high-five the wife, I take a shower, I get dressed, and then I go into my office. My dirty little cheat here is I will do another 90-minute jam session before I open up email or the rest of the world into my primed sacred flow state. Now, I haven't just progressed further than what most people will do all day. I have progressed further than what most will do all week, by far, all before 9 or 10 a.m. in the morning. As I heard Robert Brault say, one of the keys to success is to have lunch at the time most people have breakfast. And not just one day a week, every work day of the week. So, you wanted to know my secret. How do I essentially output the equivalent of a 50,000 word professionally published book every 60 days? Which, by the way, is less than 1/3 of all the content and marketing that I have to produce, lead my team, globetrot, and vacation abundantly. This is it. It's all because I have created and protected this great daily advantage vigorously. And now, so can you. You have the formula. And to review it, it's a lot simpler than you think. But apparently for many, it's not easy to stick to. The first two is sprint prep, get quality sleep. The back two is kickstart and jam. If you make it any more complicated than that, you probably won't be able to stick to it. Make sure that you set up your morning ritual to be something that you can do every day for the rest of your life. Not just this week or for a couple of weeks while you're still enthusiastic. Consistency is the key. And the key to that is simplicity. I hope that you got that critical point there. And once again, it is not important what your morning routine is within the framework that I gave you. It is only important that you have one, stick to it, and do it consistently. Then you will have the compound effect multiplying your progress.